weekend, all. Ira Epstein from a snowy Chicago for a change. Yeah, we got some snow. It's not staying on the ground much, on the grass, yes, but not on sidewalks and streets. And it is Sunday, the 22nd of January, 2023, about 5:35 p.m. Central Time. And this is your weekend edition of your SPDR ETF videos. Now, this is the week also where we go into the quiet period from the Fed speakers, because February 1st is just around the corner, week from now, and they go into a blackout a week ahead. Could there be a conversation or two up until this coming Wednesday? I don't know the rule. It's possible, I would imagine. It's lunar holiday, so the Chinese are on their big festive holidays. Obviously, we heard about the shooting in Monterey. My heart goes out to everybody. It's just tragic. It looks as though the shooter may have taken his own life in his van. You know, they got a white van. Looks like the one that was supposed to be there. They got a man dead in it from a gunshot. 2 and 2. I'm not a detective, but I'm guessing it's the guy. And well, hopefully that's the end of it. Unfortunately, you know, what happens there's just too many of these things going on. As for the rest of the market, it's earnings week. So if you're a SPDR ETF trader, come on, you got Tesla, you got all the big boys coming out now. So you're going to get all the numbers coming, be ready for them. Are we going to see numbers that have beat what analysts think? Are we going to hear forward guidance that's guiding you that no, expect some worse things to happen? We have to listen. This is going to be a big week, and I think you want to listen to a lot of these boys, from the auto people that are coming out. You know, we got the bankers out of the way, but now we're getting the big boy companies, Boeing, all these type of companies coming out. So I think we should pay big attention to it. When I look at this, I went to BABA. I could have done FXI. I've got people that are asking me about these, as we're having our live webinar this coming Thursday. So the 26th, my first webinar of 2023. You're invited. If you're on my mailing list, you already got your invite. If not, just move your cursor to the top of the screen, and you'll be able to see an icon come up. Give it a click, and you'll get to an area where you fill out for your form. If you want SPDR's ETF or stock questions, I ask one thing of you. When you get the receipt that you've signed up, there's a question period in there, an area that we've marked off where you can ask questions. Click it. A form will appear. When you fill out what you want done, it's sent direct to me. That's how it works. It's not an email, it's a form right off our website. Boom, you're able to do it, and I can get to them, and I'll create the charts. And normally I get to every question that you send me ahead of time. During the seminar or the webinar, sometimes I can't get to them all. I limit it to 20 minutes. I won't go 30. 20 minutes, that's where it ends. And I don't post it on the website. You either attend or you missed it. Okay, so in BABA, doesn't take a genius to see that the market's marching higher, and you've got the pattern of higher lows, higher highs. So this is definitively friendly. The market hasn't been up here on a weekly chart for a long time. The last rally highs were literally right where you're at. And will the market be able to go much beyond that? Well, probably not. And you'll say, why not? Number one, you've got lunar holiday. Number two, you already have 3 weeks in a row over the upper Bollinger Band. The most you typically go is 5. Can it go further? Nothing says it can't. The odds don't favor it. I give the market right now, what happens is each consecutive close over the 18-week average takes away from the probability of the market settling again over it. Only 5% of the time do you do it. So each time you close over it, I drop it down. Now you got a 4%, 3%, 2% chance of closing over it. So 1% comes away for each one of those, and it's a rule of thumb. You know, you're liable to say, well, Ira, we went 6, 7. It could happen. That would be a sign of immense strength. I look at the market. Are we embedded? Not yet. We have a market that's got both numbers over 80, but not several weeks in a row over it. So I have an overbought market that's trying to embed. I get the story. I mean, China seems to have changed gears on these companies and said, okay, we're not going after the tech boys the way we did, and they're coming back. And if the economy picks up, let's face it, this is a big commerce company. I like what I see there. Would I tell a client to buy it over a Bollinger Band? No. In KBE, you're still in a market that is fighting a battle that's had a downtrend. It's fighting right at the 18-week average on pullbacks. Once it cleared the green line, the 100-week, it got to the 18 and it's back and forth in there. It gets friendly if the market can clear, not this past week, but 2 weeks ago's high, and that would be right here at 47.50 and close over that. So that's the key. What are the pros doing? They're probably selling into it, and they don't want to see the market get over that, so they're risking their 70 cents, and if they can get the market under the 100-week, they go. If it gets over it, they'll turn bullish, and my guess is then their stops would be under this week's low. So the game plan's pretty laid out as I see it. In the industrial sector, you have the trend down, the bias up. What is bias? If a market is over the red line, the 18-week average of closes, that's my definition of bias. If you're over it, it's bullish bias. If you're under it, it's bearish. Right on it, it's the neutral zone. You also have a market here, is it trying to embed? Well, both numbers were over 80 this week. I think you can see that. Last week, both numbers were over 80, and the week before they were. So that's embedded. So until the red line closes under 79, you got to be careful. It's at 82, but it closed near the lows of the week. So it can't really afford to get much under this week's low without putting that in jeopardy of getting under that number. This is the battleground. You've been fighting it since November. Take a look at that. It's a long time at the 100-week average. Which way will it break out? The energy sector worked off an overbought condition. Now, is it completely off? Not yet. Any number that's over 70 and both numbers aren't going sideways over 80 is just overbought. So it's still there. I'm expecting support on pullbacks to be honored at 86.04. I'd be surprised if it takes out a prior break low. This one would be 82.83. And ultimately, I'm looking for the market to see if it can get back up here. But is there a reason for it to rally over the next 2-3 weeks? It's not going to get huge Chinese demand during the lunar holiday, and that goes until February 5th. In FXE, we have fully embedded readings. That's bullish. So as this stays bullish, the market is getting bought on the pullbacks, looking for the combination of the Bollinger Band. There's also a window envelope, and I look at those hard, even on weekly charts, and they're in my subscriber videos. You only get part of what I do here for free. There are other steps that are crucial. They're intentionally left off. But we are at something of a resistance zone right here. You're embedded. Means they're still buying the brakes, in my opinion, to get through that. The gold market reaching up. Now you're hearing $2,000 an ounce. It's around the corner. I wouldn't be surprised. You have your embedded reading. You've got the euro with a bullish embedded reading, which means the dollar's got a bearish embedded reading. In ARK, Kathy Wood's loaded up, and she probably got some profit on the most recent Tesla purchases. I don't think she's ahead on all of them recently because she was buying the market in this zone. I remember her in the 34 area buying some, but I know she was buying them under the 32. My problem with Tesla is it's now a car company. And the fact that they have gone and cut prices put pressure on everybody else, right? Lucid seems to be doing pretty good, but Rivian isn't doing that good. The last rally high was 38.38. You haven't gotten to that. You're at 36.50. So far, it's a rally into the resistance of the 18-week average of closes. Take out 38.38 and you break, finally, this downtrend that's been in place for a while. You actually negated some of the downtrend by closing over the 18-week average for the first time. And if you take this with me since August, roughly. Can you believe that? So I appreciate what that's done there. In Apple, I still view this as a bear market rally into the potential resistance combination of the 18-week and the 100-week. You'd have to get over 150.92 to tell me, just like in Tesla, there's something more of a story happening here. Let's get to Meta. I think I have Tesla on there twice now. We've got higher lows, higher highs. It's been a heck of a run, but is it getting overdone? I think so. It's overbought. I'm not expecting to get much more than wherever the Bollinger Band top is before a correction sets in. So I'd be watching that. In TLT, BND, it's very difficult now to want to do an awful lot in front of the FOMC meeting. The trend is up, but you are in overbought territory. So, excuse me, we're done with that, and that's what I'd be looking at. Now remember, to attend the webinar, and we always have a lot of fun, you know, we fill up on these things. It's free. I sent out emails. If you're not on my mailing list, just move your cursor up here and join from filling that out up there. And when you fill out the form, there's an icon, click it, fill it out, ask the questions, and away you go. I open at 12:15 p.m. on Thursday. I start at 12:30 and I end 20 minutes lower. It is fast. Your questions, especially spiders, ETF stocks, send them to me first. I can't create all those charts in that period. As a futures broker, and that's my forte, and I owned a stock firm, so don't get me wrong. I certainly know how to my way around that business in a major fashion. But it's easy to do 40 charts on futures because that's about how many commodities we really look at. There's no way I can do the multi-thousands and have them ready to go. I can put in stuff, but I won't give you the right window envelopes and all the other studies I want to get there for you. If you can live without that, don't worry about it. I'll do them on the fly. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a great weekend. I'll see you first thing in the morning with our newsflash video. Take care.